Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Friday. I don't know about y'all, but the weather just is so yummy. And while we're gonna have a little bit of rain tonight, I am absolutely loving this weather. So spring has sprung at the Howard house. And I don't know about y'all, but in the Southeast, where we live in Memphis, the azaleas are just bursting. It's so beautiful. They're just everywhere. We have so many azalea bushes in our yard. It's just so beautiful, which is part of the reason I love the stencil that we're introducing today. We've put this together in a kit, and I'm gonna tell you, out of all the chalkboard signs I've ever done, this is my favorite. It is so happy. It's so different, and a lot of people don't realize that you can create gorgeous, look at this, I want you to see it, gorgeous chalkboard signs that aren't black. This makes it so spring, so summer, so happy, so elegant. It would be beautiful in any room in your house. So hey guys, hey Lynn, hey Jeanette, hey Tamara, hey Donna, hey guys, hey LaDonna. You know, I never get to a point that I don't love seeing your names and seeing your comments and seeing what you love. I even go back and I'll go back to the orders and people that buy things, and it's like, what a sweet, sweet customer. And I am so grateful for our customers and for our patronage, and you just allow us the ability to be creative, to design things that make your home more beautiful. And it makes me happy, and I feel so, so blessed. My partner in crime, Michelle, was working with her teacher duty with her kids today. So I miss my partner in crime, but she will hopefully be back here on Monday, Lord willing. And so I'm excited to be able to introduce this new kit today and this new stencil. You don't have to buy it in the kit if you don't want to. If you want to be able to create this on another a board or a large tote or a great bag for the summer to go to the beach, all that type thing, you can just get the stencil. So I want to show you what the stencil looks like. We've already done so many great looking projects with the stencil. We have used the flowers. Look at this. We've used the flowers on plates. We used it with the ceramic paint, and we used it on bowls, and they were absolutely to die for. But I just love the design. Look at this. Isn't that yummy? Look at all the different fonts on here. I think that's the other thing that I love about it. It's really quite beautiful. And I'm having fun working on designing larger stencils, so that way it gives you a lot of versatility on how you can use it. So, oh, I love that idea. Who made that comment? Deborah Jo? I love that. You know what? I love that. I have a gate that goes to my family, my friend's entrance, and I may actually borrow your idea. I love that so much. So cute. Yes, I love it. It's just so happy, and I just look for opportunities of things that I can decorate my home with the seasons as it change. And so as it changes, we are totally into plants, we're totally into our gardens, we're into planting, and everything is bursting with life, and it makes it that much more fun. So let me show you the kit that we put together today. It's really adorable, and it makes it a lot more easy. That way you don't have to go around and find all the supplies. So in this kit, you will get the surface, you'll get the stencil, you'll get the French blue one-step paint. I'm getting ready to show you how to paint this. And so you'll get the French blue one-step, you'll get the I Reckon chalk art. It's very important on this one, you'll notice in working with the French blue that I did not do a stark white chalk art. It's more of a grayish white. It's real pretty. It's kind of the tone value with the blue makes it really, really nice. All those things are really important when you're doing this. And it also includes your stain and your brush. So your stencil, your chalk art, your stain, your brush, your spreader, your surface, all of that comes in this kit. So that way you don't have to worry about anything, and you can, you'll have plenty of stuff left over that you can do on other projects, especially with the paint. And so I'm going to show you really quickly how to create this because it's fun, it's easy, and it's definitely something that you're going to be able to use in your home. And here's the great thing about it. When you get these surfaces, and let's come the fall comes around, Christmas comes around, you can use this surface. A lot of times I will flip it. So I've got the front of it, and I'll enjoy it this way, but I can turn it over and then do another sign on the back of it if I want to, or a piece of art for that matter. Or you can paint over it, and you can just use this for different things. I did this with the chalk art, so you can wipe it off and then do another design on top of it. So, those of you that know I have asthma, and sometimes if I get to talking too much, I just have to have just a little bit of water. All right, so let's do this. Y'all ready? As you pop on here, just do #replay. If you're catching me live, be sure and tell me where you're tuning in from. And guess what? If you share this video and tag 3 friends, your name will go in for a drawing. And all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we will be looking at your names. They'll go into our electronic data center, and it will calculate everyone that has shared, and then we'll make a drawing on Monday, and then we'll announce the winner on social media, and then we will put this in the mail to you, and you'll get the kit entirely free. We pay for shipping and the kit, so it makes it a lot of fun. We love giving these away because we have such great customers, and y'all are just so sweet and so encouraging to me as well as our entire team. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to turn this down, continue to say hey, and I'm going to turn this down so that way you can see me as I'm actually doing it. All right, so the first thing that you're going to get in your kit is you're going to get your board. And this is a beautiful birch board. And I've got the pattern on here, you'll see. I'm going to lay it in a horizontal direction like this. But one of the things to make it easy, it's perfect how it fits on here. It fills up the whole space. I just love it. One of the things that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get some painter's tape, because as you're going to come in and be staining the frame, and the stain comes in the kit, you just want to make sure that you're protecting the area that you're going to paint. So what I do normally is I'll just take a little bit of this tape like this, and I'll go around and I'm going to lay it down where my actual paint is going to go. It makes it really so much easier when you're working on a project like this if you just take the time and go on and tape it. Now, let me show you a little trick that I do. When I'm laying my tape down like this, and when I get to a corner like this, I won't try to make sure that I get it exactly in the corner. I'll stop maybe an inch or an inch and a half, and then that way when I come back to lay my tape down this way, it will fill in that negative space. So it just makes it a lot easier when you're actually doing your project. So, and 2, you can use a razor blade if you want to be able to get a straight edge like this, or some scissors and just cut it and then just fit it in that corner. Prep work just is going to make your project that much neater and that much prettier. You're going to be much happier with it in the long run, I promise. All right, so be sure, got a lot of boards here. Be sure as you're popping on, say hey, tell me where you're tuning in from, and if you share the video, your name will go in for a drawing, because I give one of these kits away every time we do a Facebook Live. And I love Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays because I get to give it away, but also there's so much work that goes into our designs and our projects. When we're able to finally show you, our customers, and our crafting tribe, I get so excited because I love seeing how y'all use it. And this is really true. When I get on our Crafting a Beautiful Life site on Facebook, and I see all the projects and all the creativity with you guys, sometimes I just tear up because I love the fact that, well, I'm deemed your mother maker. I love that there is so much creativity in this group, and there's so many women that love making things and making their homes more beautiful. It just makes it so enjoyable. All right, so I'm just continuing to lay my tape around. You'll notice how I'll stop just a little bit here. That way I can lay it down. I want to see here. want to be able to just kind of see your comments. I've got my laptop over here. I'm just trying to get it situated. All right, so one last side. And you know, you'll notice this is not just regular painter's tape. This, when you're working with frog tape, which is green, and you're working with this blue tape, it's made by 3M, and it has a stickiness that really works really well with paint. I am not a big fan of the tan painter's tape. I like this 3M blue tape. And this one I actually got at Ace Hardware. So I'm just trying to make sure that I get that down in there. If you get just a little bit, if it seeps through, that's all right. The majority of your paint is going to cover that up with no problem. All right, sorry, but prep is important. And I'm just wanting to make sure that I get all this done and to where I'm happy with it so that I can go with it when I start to lay my stain down. All right. If you're just now popping on, we're introducing a brand new stencil today in a brand new kit that is all about summertime and springtime, because I love being able to decorate our homes for the seasons. And it is to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. Isn't that so happy? I love it. We've already done so many different projects with this stencil because we've used these flowers to the side. These are great if you like doing watercolor. I could totally use part of this and create some stationery. Matter of fact, I may do that this afternoon. But I just love the fact that it has a lot of impact as far as having it on a sign. All right, so now in your kit, you're going to get some gel stain. If you've not worked with this gel stain, it's really fantastic. And it's really thick. It's a gel-like consistency. And because these containers are smaller, you may want to just kind of pour it in a paper bowl. See how thick this is? It smells absolutely divine. The other thing is it has no VOCs, no volatile organic chemical compounds, and it's really nice and enjoyable to use. So you want to just have some type of brush and then a rag, so that way you can just wipe it off. You can use a terry cloth rag. You can use, I just try to make sure if I'm using terry cloth that I've washed it so I don't have residue from it that is going to come off in my surface. So that way you can come back, just load up your brush or your rag, and you want to come around like this. Now, I will tell you, with this lighter color blue that we're doing, I prefer for this to not be too dark. So don't let it stay on here for very long. I would prefer that you come back and wipe it off. Let's just keep it really light. But see, because we've done all of our prep work on our tape, I'm not having to worry about getting onto the area that I'm going to be painting. So let me add just a little bit here. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. I want you to get the gist. That way, if you get the kit, that way you know exactly what it is that you're supposed to do. And if you're not familiar with our kits, we do have a recipe card in them that has all the step outs on how you're supposed to be able to do this project successfully. All right, so I'm just going to take my rag and I'm going to pull some of this off. You can actually thin it down just a little bit if you want to. I did the other one that I'm going to show you. We thinned it down with water. That's up to you. You could do it a little darker if you wanted to, but the one that I've got that I'm going to show you was actually thinned down quite a bit. All right, so that's it. You're going to go all the way around your frame and stain it. Then you're going to take your tape off. It's going to take about 15 minutes for this to dry, and then you're able to go to the next step. So what we want to do is I'm going to go on and remove the tape. I'm not going to spend the time to go on and stain the whole thing. I want to be able to show you how you can paint the surface. And a lot of people don't realize, they're thinking that a chalkboard has got to be black. That's not true. Guys, you can have a chalkboard this gorgeous French blue color. So if you're wondering what we're doing, here it is. This is our gorgeous French blue sign that we're doing. So I love the fact that it's totally different. People are thinking, wait a minute, you mean a chalkboard can be blue? It doesn't have to be black or green, dark green like we had in the a lot of the more chalkboards from our childhood. Absolutely not. They can be any color, and that's what makes it so fun and so fabulous. All right, so I'm going to take my tape off. After you've done all of it, you're going to take your tape off, and then you're going to want to put tape down to protect your stain area. So where we taped here, if I had finished it, you're going to go back and now protect your stain area. That's why it's important to let this dry about 15-20 minutes. All right, so let me just show you as an example. So you're going to lay your tape down now after you've stained all of it, just to protect it, so that way when you're painting it, you're not going to get the paint on there. So my stain is still kind of wet. So let me just show you on this part over here that's not wet. So basically you're going to have this area right here. That allows you to be able to get down in the corner and not get it on the area that you stained. So I'll just wrap it. Haste makes waste. Just going to lay this down like this and burnish it. All right. So now I'm going to come back. In this kit that you get, you're going to get the one-step French blue. A lot of people don't realize that you can use our one-step paint as a chalkboard paint, but you can also use this on a lot of different surfaces. You can use it on raw wood. You can use it on furniture that has an existing finish. You can use this on frames. So let's say you're going to have a considerable amount left over. You could go to Goodwill or Habitat for Humanity and get a picture frame and clean it well, and then come back with this one step and paint over it. So you could create a totally different project. So I'm going to take this, and this smells divine too. If we had smell-o-vision, I'll leave that up and let you smell of it. It smells so good. I'm going to pour a little bit in my cup like this. And the kit comes with a sponge brush, and it's best when you are going to be doing a chalkboard to either use a high-density foam roller or a sponge brush, because it's going to give you a smoother finish. And so you're just going to want to come in like this, lay your brush down where you've put your protectant tape. That way you can get up in the edges and it's not going to matter. And you're just going to want to do long, clean strokes. Now, I prefer that you go one direction. You want to go with the grain. So you see I've got it going kind of from north to south. And I prefer that you go one section at a time, overlapping like this. So usually I'll come at the bottom, go up, and then I'm constantly feathering into my wet paint. I just want to make sure that I get really good coverage. And because this brush is beveled, it allows me to be able to turn this way and get down into the corner, or to be able to get down here. So it's beveled on the edge, so I can just tuck it in here and then come up. But I'm constantly feathering to make sure that I'm getting good coverage. Always keeping a wet edge. You don't want any holidays. And when I'm doing chalkboards, I actually really like doing 2 thin coats. So please don't feel like you've got to get this 100% covered. If you've got some holidays, that's okay, or maybe if it's kind of peeking through or if it looks a little streaky, you're going to get that on your second pass. So you're just coming back like this, come across. I'll go back in here and I'm constantly kind of fanning it out and work your way across. Allow it to dry about 15 minutes and then just come back and do the same thing again. It's better, again, to have 2 thinner passes, 2 thin coats, than trying to get 1 really heavy coat. And there's no need in doing it with the hairdryer. It's going to dry so quickly. You're going to see it go to a beautiful matte finish. That's what allows you to be able to use it as a chalkboard. All right, so I had one that I did right before I went live, so that way I had it finished. And you know, the thing is too, I haven't stained my edge. If you don't want to stain your edge, you don't have to. If you like the idea of keeping it lighter, or if you want to be able to have the dark brown, if you want it a little lighter, then you can thin your gel stain and make it really pale. So you see on this one that's finished, I thinned down my gel stain considerably because that way I didn't want a lot of color on here. I thought it looks really nice and clean with my French blue paint that I painted on. All right, so now I'm going to take my stencil. I'm not as good as Michelle about working upside down. So I'm going to take my stencil, open it up. If you haven't used these before, they do have backings on them and they're adhesive. So they're repositionable. You don't have to put them on a mat or anything to take the stickiness away. The great thing about this is I can use this stencil on paper, I can use it on ceramic, I can use it on fabric, depending on whatever product I'm working with. Now today I'm going to be using a chalk art because the chalk is what is able to be in a paste form that allows me to be able to use it on signs like this, and then after I'm finished using it, and if I want to change the sign out, all I have to do is wipe it off with water. And nothing is going to happen to the paint that I've painted on here. So sometimes if you get any brush marks that you're not happy with, all you have to do is come back. I'll usually take some 400 grit sandpaper and I'll just lightly go over it so that way it gives me a nice smooth surface. I'll tell you what, I don't want you to have to watch upside down, so I'm gonna turn this upside down. All right, so now I'm gonna take my chalk art. Now again, I am not using a pure white. I'm using, the color is called I Reckon. Yes, we say that here in the South. Y'all are like, where in the world does she come up with these names? It's because I grew up in the South and my mom had all these weird sayings about stuff. Like, well, I reckon. So I tried to think of all the things that I had learned, and in honor of her, I've named a lot of these things after Southern sayings. So that's where these silly things come up with. All right, so now I've got a spreader. This actually comes in the kit. And I'm just gonna cut this to place to where it's not quite so big, and I can make these smaller and use them on other projects. If you're just now popping on, my name is Amy Howard and I'm the Mother Maker with a Maker Studio. And I am introducing a new kit today that we've put together and a brand new stencil. So if you've got a lot of these supplies, or you can buy them separately, but we've put this kit together with the surface, the stencil, the paint, the stain, and the chalk art, as well as a spreader and a brush, so that way you don't have to go get anything. You just need some tape to be able to do the project with. So I'm gonna take my spreader and I'm just gonna load it up with some chalk art. Now, guys, the difference between chalk art and ink, the chalk art is actually chalk in a paste form. It's going to allow me to be able to enjoy it, and then that way if I ever wanna change it up, then that way I'll just take some water and it will wipe off. But the cool thing about it is when it's dry, it doesn't come off. You can't rub it off like regular chalk. Now here's the other thing. I want you to be sure. I'm holding this at a 45-degree angle, and look how I'll spread it out, and then I kind of scrape it to get off the excess, and it's pushing it through that mesh. I love the fonts on this sign. I'm a font freak because I studied typography, which is the study of lettering and designs of lettering in college. I never grow tired of just really gorgeous fonts. But here's the other thing I need you to do. When you're working on these signs, I need you to work fairly quickly. Now here's the other thing. You need to have it to where as you work on it, you can lift up this end like this so it doesn't start to dry on you. So as I've done it, I'll lift up a little bit and then I'll work my way across. So I'm pressing this in here. I'm kind of cleaning it up as I go. And I can see that there's no holidays. You know, the thing is, I'm enjoying doing this in a monochromatic color. But if you wanted to be able to do it in a lot of different colors, it would be so fab. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm dying to do this stencil on a tote bag because I would love to hand color these flowers. Somebody please do that. We need to show everybody you can use the black ink, and you can come back with the gel inks if you want to do it on fabric and hand color these flowers in. But I just thought for a sign that I wanted to be able to have in my entry hall, I'm going to put this on my entry hall table, that I wanted it just done in this gorgeous French blue with just the I Reckon, which is this gorgeous kind of yummy, creamy gray color. It's not white. It's so pretty with the blue. All right, so I've got just a couple of things here that I can tell that I need to push through. Now, you'll see how it's starting to dry. I want to make sure that as I'm working on it, that I am lifting the stencil up, because I don't want to leave it all on here and then allow it to dry, because the chalk will literally dry in the stencil. So as you're working on larger pieces, put that chalk art on, make sure you've got it through there, it's on everything, and then lift it up. Now, the other thing you're going to notice is that as it dries, now I'm just going to tell you, this is so cute. I absolutely love it. It's so sophisticated. I just think it's very classic, timely. I love that I could do a lot of patterns with it on different things, but now I want you to see something. See the color of this? Now it's wet. I just did it. Here's the one that I did earlier, and it's dry. Do you see how much brighter it is? So when it's wet, you're not going to see it as much. But when it's actually dried down, it's going to be much brighter, and the color is going to be stronger. So I hope that just kind of encourages you when you actually see it. Is that not the cutest? I love it. I think it is the perfect stencil for right now. It's the perfect design. It's the perfect sign for me. I love putting signs on easels, on my entry hall table, and tables in my family room, and in my sunroom. It's just encouraging. I also love the prayer and praise board. I think it's fun. But I just thought, wouldn't it be fun if we put this together? I wanted you to see and think about using a French blue. You can have that as a chalkboard, and it's so beautiful and so perfect for this time of the year. And it does a great job of introducing this brand new stencil. I love this design. So now the stencil is up on the website. You can purchase it, or if you want everything that I did here today, we've also put this kit together for you. So it's a one and done. So I hope you enjoyed this. I've got a great project that I'm gonna show you how to press flowers that you're gonna be planting, maybe a lot of you this weekend, how you can press flowers. Hold on, I'll just show you. So Monday, I'm gonna be showing you how to press flowers in this darling little frame and add some scripture verses or some quotes to it so we can hang this up or put this on a table. So this is what we're going to be introducing on Monday, and hopefully my partner in crime, Michelle, will be back, so that way we'll be together and we'll be showing you a brand new stencil and a brand new design. Guys, I hope you have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy this glorious spring weather. Even if it does rain, everything's coming alive and all the flowers are blooming. It's so beautiful. And that you use an opportunity just for yourself to be able to set aside some time, turn on some music, and be creative and feed your soul. If that's what you're passionate about and that's what you love doing, nothing will feed your soul more than to be able to create, and then maybe turn around and give that to someone as a gift. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye.